everybody, it's Jessica from ayearwithjulia.com, and tonight we're making ham bon braisé morvandel, which translates to ham braised in wine with cream and mushroom sauce. So far, we have already sauteed some carrots and onions in some butter, of course, and oil on the stove in a casserole dish. I've taken it off the heat and now I've put in our ham, and I've added some seasoning and some parsley and some wine and some beef stock. I've minimized our recipe so it's only for 2 people. Otherwise it would have been an 8-pound ham. That's a bit much. Okay, I'll do 1 more cup of this beef stock and then we're going to pop it into the oven where it's going to cook for about 45 minutes to an hour. Just pour it right in there. All right. I'm going to cover it with a lid. Open up the oven, which has already been preheated to 325 degrees. Pot holders. You can see they've seen better days. Okay, and we'll just set it in the oven in the middle rack. Close it on up, and we'll check back in a few minutes. Okay, our ham is still in the oven, and now we're moving on to the cream and mushroom sauce. So what I'm doing now is I'm sauteing some mushrooms in some butter. And once they get nice and brown, you add a little bit of onions, green onions. And we'll saute this together. And once it gets to be nice and brown, we'll take it off the heat and we'll wait for the ham to come out. And then we're going to add some of the juices from the ham and some wine and some whipping cream and mix it all together, and it's going to be a wonderful sauce for our ham. So we'll check back in a few minutes on that. Okay, we've taken our ham out of the oven and we've moved it to the top of the stove where we've put it to a high boil to get all those juices revving up. What we're going to do now is add a 1/4 cup of Madeira wine, which is really high content alcohol. Add it to the juices here. And we're going to let it simmer so that it burns off all that alcohol but keeps the flavor. And then we're going to transfer all of that juice. We're going to strain it into a saucepan. And then we're going to add a paste made of butter and flour. And we're also going to add some whipping cream. We're going to stir it all together and add in those mushrooms that we sauteed earlier, and it's going to make a wonderful sauce. So we'll check back on that. Meanwhile, we're making a side dish of spinach, and it's just coming to a boil now. So once that gets going, we're going to strain all the water out of it and then chop it up and get ready to eat it. Okay, we've just put our juices from the ham into the saucepan, and these little white bits you see floating around are actually part of a paste made from butter and flour that I've just added, and I'm going to beat that into the liquid here. As that gets going, I'm going to take a cup of whipping cream and pour that in to thicken up our sauce. Stir here. Okay, then we're going to add the mushrooms that we sauteed earlier with a little bit of green onion. Get that going. And I just turned the heat on. I'll turn it up a little bit. So we're going to bring this up to a simmer and let it simmer for a little while and let it get real nice and thick. And by that time, we should be ready to serve up our dinner. Well, we finally finished our wonderful meal. We have braised ham with our wine and mushroom and cream sauce, and we also have spinach, and we decided to add stuffing to make it kind of a holiday meal kind of feel. So if you want to take a look, it turned out great. This is Jessica from ayearwithjulia.com. Bon appetit!